This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, turns out this break may have come at the most perfect time for your Seattle Mariners, as the Mariners get swept in kind of a subplot of what's actually going on over the weekend against the Los Angeles Dodgers. This one ends up 6-1 for Los Angeles. So a couple things to keep note of, but really you're just trying to, get yourself back in game shape for the postseason coming on Saturday. I got Chris Crawford with me, Anderson Hurst with you. We're going to kind of put things in perspective. You were able to get to this point where this series doesn't matter because of what you did earlier in the week. And because the series didn't matter, the series didn't matter, if that makes sense. So it's, obviously you'd rather win them than lose. I think that's the case. But other than that, I think that's kind of where we're at. We'll talk about the offense a little bit, or lack thereof. We'll talk about Bryce Miller struggling a little bit on his last start of the season. Pretty simple that you move him to the bullpen for the postseason, but I'm curious what Chris Crawford's thoughts are on that. And then we'll give your unsung hero and give you guys a huge thank you, because this has been such a cool venture for us. It's the last regular season Mariners postcast of the season. We obviously will still be doing post-game ones as well, so don't worry, we're not going anywhere, but this is our chance to say thank you to you guys. So really appreciate it. The Mariners finish the regular season 90-72. And that's the third time in the last 5 years that they have ended with that exact record. Chris Crawford, what's your big takeaway from today?
It's over. It happened and it's over. I mean, I would have loved to end the regular season with a win. The only reason I was even watching this game, if I'm being honest, there were two reasons. Number one, it's my job. And number two, the chance for the 50th homer and the chance for maybe Big Dumper to get to 62. Outside of that, I couldn't have cared less about this game. I didn't even realize it was 6-1 until the final score. Like, I knew the Dodgers were winning because I saw them cross the plate a couple of times, and I didn't see the Mariners cross the plate until the 8th.
Yep.
It's just about staying healthy and getting ready. But I do like that they're playing these exhibitions to end the season to kind of simulate real baseball, right? Because you're not going to have that chance. So, it would have been great to end with a 91 wins, 20 games over 500, something they haven't been in a long time. I'm A-okay with 90-72, and I am just so pumped up for Saturday.
Yeah, anyone upset with this series, you really need to check your pulse. Like, honestly, there's some people in the chat that are like, they don't look ready for the postseason. Guys, they're not trying. Julio, we had Luke Raley in center field today, guys. All right, relax, okay?
Yeah.
My gosh, there was very little effort to try and win this game from both sides. Let's be completely honest. And I don't even think it's one of those situations where, this is what happens when they play a good team instead of the Rockies. No, guys. This is what happens when you don't care about winning the last 3 games.
Exactly.
So just relax. It's going to be okay. I'm not saying that they're guaranteed to now win the ALDS, whoever they face, but this has no representation of where they're at. So the big thing for me is, I think that now, because you can kind of tell, obviously this is more of a mental come down than a physical come down from your past week and a half of baseball, right? You had the huge Houston series over the weekend, and then the emotional Rockies series where you both clinched the postseason, clinched the AL West, and clinched the first round bye. All of that, and then you have a nothing that matters after. I think this team needs a rest mentally more than anything else. Recuperate, let's go. It's kind of a weird situation where this final series, you couldn't really do much to help yourself out. So I think this week is a perfect situation for the Mariners. I'd rather that than have to play games right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd much rather this. And I just have no concerns from this. Just none. The only concern that I have one. We'll talk about it maybe in the second half of the show.
Yep.
It's one particular player. These mean nothing. They were about hopefully adding to your stats, making sure guys are rested and ready to roll. It sucks that they lost one guy to injury, but it sure sounds like Josh Naylor is going to be okay for the ALDS. I'll be shocked if he's not in the lineup. This is as close to a nothing burger as you can have for 27 innings. It just is. I'm sorry, guys.
Yep. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Bryce Miller because let's start with the start, as we always do.
Sure.
Wasn't great today. And, you know, I'm not saying he had a chance to pitch himself into the playoff rotation, but if he did, it would not have happened based on today's outing. So what are your thoughts on what you saw from Miller?
I actually thought Miller was okay. It wasn't great, you know, but Freddie Freeman got you on a pitch that was really well located and hit the ball out to left center field. The one mistake he makes is the Kim pitch. Like, that's the one thing that makes me go, oof. I thought Bryce Miller pitched better than 4 innings of 4-run baseball. Do I trust Bryce Miller to face a lineup like the Dodgers, though? No, of course not. He's just not the same pitcher this year. I'm still encouraged enough from what I saw from him that in short relief, a couple of innings, he can help this bullpen. They really need Brian Wu to be healthy because they're probably going to use a 4-starter. They probably are going to use 4 in that first series. And if Brian Wu isn't healthy, then Bryce Miller has to be that guy. And that's concerning because it'll come in a game 4 that will likely be pivotal. But I didn't see anything from Bryce Miller today that made me go, oh, gosh, this guy is done. Or, gosh, this guy can't help you. There was just enough good in this one for me to come away with mostly positive thoughts. Because the Freddie Freeman homer is just Freddie Freeman being one of the best hitters in baseball. The Kim pitch, however, that's an example that Bryce Miller, not Brian Miller, Bryce Miller, is not the same guy that he was in 2024. I sure hope we get that guy in 2026. In the meantime, why not help us in the bullpen for 2025?
Yeah, and honestly, like, I think it'd be good for him to be like, all right, we don't need you to have length. Give us 1, maybe 2 good innings and pump your best stuff. Let's go.
Yeah.
And in a big situation, which I think that actually might be really good for him.
I was surprised they didn't use him in the bullpen today, as a, hey,
just to get ready.
But that might be because of the concern about Wu, right? That might be the, hey, we really want to keep you on your normal routine within limit, because he could have gone another inning or 2 today. Absolutely could have done another inning today. Before we get to the break, just let me get my one guy that I'm concerned about. It's Edward Bizardo. He just doesn't look very good right now. Yeah. And again, it has come after he is used after that 2-inning game. And I can't prove that that's what's wrong. It's an interesting correlation, and the causation's there. We see the causation. We don't have
waiting for it all year, to be honest.
Right. And he's been so good for you for the overwhelming majority of 2025. But that's my one concern here, is whether or not you trust Edward Bizardo now in high leverage situations.
Yeah, and especially when you probably will have a Bryce Miller, if Brian was okay, Bryce Miller be in that bullpen. It's like, okay, maybe we tick you down just a little bit based on what we've seen from you recently. So I'm curious to how they deal with that. This is where Dan Wilson's going to earn his money. That's for sure. I'm excited to see, what he does with the playoff rotation. I'm excited to see, where we are with leverage arms in terms of your confidence level. Because if you remember, before that Bizardo outing that you're talking about, he was kind of ahead of Matt Brash in terms of the confidence level from Dan Wilson. Like, he was being 100%. Put in the big situations. So maybe it's just one of those where you flip him back because of the recent performances. But Rob One says, I'm going to spend the entire offseason wondering why I started Bryce Miller over Kershaw in the fantasy league. Lost the chip by 15 points. Miller had -3, Kershaw 20. That matters more than this game actually did. Let's be completely honest with ourselves.
Rob. I'm sorry, Rob. And you know what? Somebody brought it up in the chat. The Dodgers did kind of have something to play for. They wanted to get Kershaw winning his final start.
That's fair.
They absolutely wanted to get him a win in the final start. I won't spend any time talking about my thoughts on Clayton Kershaw because it doesn't matter. But that's one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time. So,
Yes,
and yeah,
we'll leave it at
they
that.
did have a little bit of motivation today for Clayton Kershaw.
Yep, absolutely. All right. On the other side, we'll talk about the offense a little bit, do our unsung hero, and then give you guys a quick shout out because we love you. On the Mariners postcast here on Locked On Mariners. Caffeine has just got a flavor upgrade. 5-hour energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients, with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most about 5-hour energy is how portable they are. It's just like this size, right? With my fingers here. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere. You don't have to lug this giant, like, traveler-sized cup of coffee around just to get your caffeine. And it's much better for you. There's tons of different flavors available with 5-hour energy. It's much better for you. There's no crashes. You feel much better in your gut health. For someone who is a little sensitive in that subject, for me, it's such a big game changer. That's why I've moved to 5-hour energy off of coffee. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5-hour energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in-store and online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today.
This episode is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings in the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be helpful tools as you reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. Your guys are going to be really nervous over this next week or so, and hopefully it's a lot longer than that, but definitely over the next week. And when we get nervous, if we are ex-smokers, we tend to be people who really want something like that. So use something like Zippix instead. That's giving you a little bit of a caffeine boost. That's taking away less of that dependence on nicotine and helping you get over a just disgusting habit. So go to zippixtoothpicks.com, use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. You must be 21 years or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix Toothpicks.
You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. But there are zero products. There's so many products out there. It's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And now Nutrafol is the official health or hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. You can feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Guys, hair identity, all that kind of stuff is really, really big for me. And while I haven't yet gotten to the point where I start needing to think about some hair supplement products, you best believe as soon as I start to feel like that, I'm going to be checking out Nutrafol because it's by far the best one out there. It's simple to add to your day. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed, super easy. See thicker, stronger, and faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol's offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Welcome back to the Mariners Postcast. Andrew Surs, Chris Crawford with you. Mariners lose the final game of the regular season in game 162, 6-1 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Any thoughts on the offense, Chris? Anything stand out to you that matters? Let me ask it that way.
So I really wanted to see Dumper get to 62, and I know he struck out a couple of times. I actually think Big Dumper played a really good baseball game today.
Yep.
The at-bats were good.
Yep.
The walk, the lined single, I have no concerns about it. No concerns about it whatsoever. The only game where he went homer chasing was yesterday.
Yesterday.
That was the only time. Like, and and he hits a double too in that game. So I'm not worried about Big Dumper whatsoever. I can't take anything from the offense from this game because of the lineup you put out. Like, especially against the lefty. Like, you put out lefty guys against this lefty. So I got to go. I'm covering NFL stuff right now, so I'm just going to give my quick thank you to everybody. This has been a blast, and I cannot appreciate getting to do this with Anders all year. Has been an absolute treat, and I'm so freaking pumped that we get to keep doing it, dude.
Yep.
That we get to keep doing it in the postseason. I hope we get to do it through the end of October, maybe even beginning in November. I don't know if how that works, but I sure hope. I love you all. I love how much you guys have supported us, given us constructive criticism, even the non-constructive criticism. Thanks for the views, dog. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome. Anders, I love you, buddy. I'll talk to you Monday. You're the absolute man. You've grown in this role so much, and I'm really, really proud of you, dude.
I know, and like, honestly, we can probably just wrap it up here because
Sure.
I just want to say thank you. I want to ditto everything that Chris Crawford just said. You guys, the reason why we do this, hanging out with us, whether you're listening to us in the podcast afterwards, whether you're watching us on YouTube Live, or maybe you caught us on KJR the past week. It's been such a fun ride. I love doing these postcasts, hanging out with Mariners fans right after the game, reactions, raw emotions, everything. That's going to be ramped up to 1 million in the next weekend. So I'm excited to keep doing that with you guys. And Chris, same thing. Like, I'm going to peek behind the curtain for those of you who don't know. Most postcasts are just one person. And I got offered the gig, and I really wanted Chris to be with me because I trust his baseball knowledge. I think it's a better show with both of us. And while I would have been confident doing it on my own, it wouldn't have been nearly as good without you. So I really, really thank you for being a part of this awesome show, and I hope we can continue it going.
Yeah, me too. By the way, just real quick on the less melodramatic. No, I'm kidding. No, everything you said, I agree with, and then some, my man. So we do have a set. We know that it's going to be Tigers versus Guardians.
Yep.
We know that's going to be. You root for 3 games. You root for that series to go 3 games. I think you ultimately root for the Tigers to win that series. I just feel like that's the least talented of those teams and the more likely team to. I'm not scared of either one. Just keep it 100.
But if you were to choose one.
If I was to choose one, I would choose the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, especially just how the way they've gone into the postseason, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Limping in. And if it goes 3 games, that means you probably won't have to see Tariq Skubal twice. So that's the big thing for me. All right, guys. We would have had a much longer show today, but we get to do more of them. So this isn't goodbye. This is until next time. We'll talk to you guys next weekend. We have, of course, the rest of the week off, but please check out Ty and Colby. They'll be doing tons of previews, watching the wild card series as well. They're going to be awesome content for the entirety of this week, but we will talk to you guys after the game. ALDS, baby. Game 1, Saturday afternoon, evening. We'll see what time it is. No announcement yet, but you guys are awesome. We'll talk to you next time. Go Mariners. Last word, Chris Crawford.
Love you all.